Alright, this is Chris V once again with mobdrama.com. If you have any questions for myself or Little Mike, you could email us at mobdrama@gmail.com. This episode we're going to talk about massage parlors back in the 70s. Mikey, you had a big part of that back in those days. Explain it, how it worked, and the money that you brought in.
Well, basically, I didn't know much about massage parlors, but I had a friend of mine, Oscar Maneri. He brought them to my attention. He kept down. We were busy. In fact, he was the best wheelman around. We were busy robbing banks, so I really didn't get a chance to get out that much. But he happened to go by this place called Roman Sauna every week.
And what's a wheelman, by the way?
Wheelman is a driver.
Okay.
He was a good driver in the bank where I was in. He used to and the check too, and he knew the routes and so forth.
Gotcha.
So on. But he was my closest ally at the time. And he kept saying, "Mike, you got to see this place. It's a massage parlor up on Route 1, which is up by Peabody." And I said, "Oscar, all I could think of was smelly rags and dirty clothes and dirty linens. I really couldn't picture it." He says, "Well," he says, "there's two. There's one Roman and there's one across the street, Swedish sauna." He says, "Come on up there with me and let's take a look at it." Well, lo and behold, we go up in one afternoon, we take a ride, and the place was loaded with people, guys. And there had to be, 20 or 30 customers waiting to go get a massage. So I said, "Wow, this looks good." So anyway, we went back and we looked up the place. We found out Swedish sauna was controlled by these two Lebanese brothers, and they had 6 places. One in Peabody, Mass, which was ended up being the most profitable. One in Manchester, New Hampshire. One in Hartford, Connecticut. One in Rhode Island. 2 of them in Rhode Island. One in Warwick, Rhode Island, and one in Providence, Rhode Island. So, and one in Reading, Massachusetts as well. So, in fact, it's off of the massage parlors I ended up getting indicted with a RICO conspiracy. So, but anyway, this is back in 1974, 75 when we first heard about them. So, I ended up making friends with one of the brothers. There was a Mike and the other kid, Dave. And Dave, I can't even think of their last names. But they always had problems. First he was come looking for girls that were what he called contemporary. What he meant was whores. And I said, well, I know a few. So I sent a few in there. And I met a couple of girls up there that worked on one of the joints. And then the girl, Sally, this girl I met, Sally Thresher, I started going out with her, and she started telling me how much business the place was doing. So this was kind of, very, very interesting. So I figured we could get a piece of the place. Anyway, we put a little pressure. They asked us to do them a few favors. That's Brother Dave did in particular, not so much Mike. Mike was always cautious. Mm-hmm. I asked him, sell me one place. I said, we'll buy one place. We'll only take one score to buy the place, I figured. And the kid said, no. So anyway, Dave asked me to take care of some guy who was going to open up in competition with them. So I went with a few guys and we closed the place down before it even got open. So Dave became very grateful to me. And then something came up, something else would come up, and the more we got around the business, I could smell the money from 6 different places. I mean, it was a...
How many girls do they have working at
they had
one
about
place?
Shift. They had 6 or 7 girls a shift. I mean, they had 6, maybe 8 rooms, 8 rooms to the Peabody location. Warwick was about 12 rooms. Providence had more rooms. It varied from location to location. And they'd work. They started at 11 in the morning, and they wouldn't close till 1 at night. So I mean, they had an awful lot of sex going on in those places up there. What else was going on, I don't know. But make a long story short, they get into me so deep with favors, and the kid Mike had some income IRS problems, that they said, look, we'll let you take one place. We'll sell you Peabody because you've been so helpful to us. So yeah, I said okay. So he took over Peabody, And I put this guy Gus in that I knew, first of all. In fact, I had two partners, Sonny Mercurio and Richie Ferramo were both partners. And in fact, when we bought Peabody, legitimately, my brother handled the transaction. My brother Eddie was a lawyer. And we bought Peabody, and it was so lucrative, I just said that we got to have the whole thing. And I talked to Sonny about it. And he said, "We'll make the move," he said. So slowly but surely, we edged out one guy or another, and we ended up taking them over, the whole 6 locations. My brother handled the deal with their lawyer.
What did the brothers have to say about that? Were they willing?
They weren't willing, but Mike was, and I couldn't understand why he was so willing. I found out later, because he owed the IRS $300,000. He'd been taking money out as just as loans, and he never paid them back. But Dave, I was supposed to pay them each $500 a week. I'd made them up to maybe 80 or 90,000 each. But after we got in there was a bunch of problems, and still, that business, you always had problems because of the nature of the business. Mm-hmm. Listen, whenever you get involved with sex, every pervert in the world comes at you, and I had to find a way. It came in. I said to him, I told my partners, I said, "Listen, we got to get the money out of these places because they're not gonna. It's not gonna last forever." Yeah. So what I did, I devised a method to skim the cash. And the only thing we listed were the credit card. When the
transactions, credit card transactions.
Yeah, credit card transactions. Well, I was forced to list them, but all the other cash we used to rip off the top and redo the paperwork. So I got the right guys in each location to be able to do that. So we lost a couple of spots. Hartford went down the tubes real quick, because the area was a bad area. But Manchester and Reading, we had trouble with the 2 guys who had the lease. Sonny ended up pistol whipping them for some reason, and these were leaseholders. So what happened was the cops got involved and everything, so the town closed the place down total. So we didn't have it, but they didn't have it either. And then we just kept rolling along, and in fact, the girls, I had the best looking girls in the world working for me. It was unbelievable. In those days, it was prior to AIDS, so those places were wide open.
Nice.
Well, there was no AIDS, and there was a cure for almost any other disease. So, sex was available and ready all the time.
And I'm sure you did all the interviews, correct?
No, but I got a picture of every girl that came in, and I'll tell you what, the good looking ones always came to see Uncle Mike. I made sure of that.
Nice.
Yeah, it was, it was a strange thing, because the guys would tell me that husbands were dropping their wives off to work, and the girl would go inside, and, she was probably sucking off 5 or 6, 7 guys a day. God knows what else they were doing, because, we didn't try to stop them. We just wanted.
And their husbands knew about it then.
The husbands knew about it, and it was amazing that they put up with it. Because I know with Sally, when I was going on, and I went for a couple of years, I said to her one night, we were laying in the bed, we were watching TV, and I said, "Well, how'd you do today? What'd you do today, honey?" So she says, "Well, just a couple of blow jobs, a couple of hand jobs." I said, "What?" And then it dawned on me, I didn't realize it. So I said, "Well, that's it. You're not going to work the rooms anymore. I'm going to make you boss, put you in charge of a joint." I ended up giving her Manchester to run, and she did her own thing. Plus, she kicked back to us on the skim. But she was like a pretty nice girl for me. I liked that. In fact, in the business that I'm in,